Hi, I'm Donna DePonio, wine advisor with Wines for Humanity. And what I do is I pour exclusive quality wines, and I do it in the privacy of somebody's home or an office for you to enjoy. And then 9 to 12.5% goes to a charity of your choice. So it's Wine Down Wednesday, and we are featuring one of our wines that just recently came back. It is our Opal Ridge Covey Cuvee, which is from California. And I'm going to talk about this wine via the 5 S's of wine tasting. So the first S is sight. So we want to look at the wine, look at the color of the wine. And if it's a deep purple color, then it's a young red. And if it's more of a brick red, amber, brownish red color, then you've got an older red. This is deep purple, almost ruby purple color, so it is definitely young. It's a 2018. The second S is swirl, so we swirl the wines to let the aromas out. And there's these streaks coming down the sides of the glass referred to as legs. If they stick to the sides of the glass and slowly make their way down to the bottom like this one is doing, then you have a heavier bodied wine. This is a full bodied wine. If in my last video, I featured our Duca, which was a very light white, and the legs just ran right down. So that indicates that it's light. The third S is smell. And oh, I'm getting like stewed cherries, some raspberries, and a hint of violet on the nose. And if you're having problems smelling the wine, I learned a trick. You just put your hand over the wine glass and then swirl it. That kind of keeps the aromas more concentrated, and then you get a better smell. The fourth S is sip. And you want to take 3 sips, and you want them to be small because, especially with this wine, if you take a smaller sip, it won't overwhelm your palate, especially with this wine because it's big and bold, which we'll talk about in a minute. And you want to roll it around your tongue to get the best taste sensation. This definitely has big, bold, a lot of fruit, a lot of red fruits in this wine. I get that cherry, get a little bit of the raspberry. It is very smooth, but very juicy. Got a lot of acidity to it, which means it pairs well with food. More about that later. The fifth S is savor, meaning what are we experimenting in this wine? So one of the things I look for is a long finish, meaning once you swallow the wine, does the flavor linger on your palate? And if it does, then you've got a long finish. And this wine does have it. So if you like the flavor and it's got a long finish, that's a winner of a wine for you. The other thing I'd like to talk about this wine is the amount of grapes in this wine. And I've got to refer to my notes to make sure that I get all of the grape varietals in this wine. So it has Primitivo, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Petite Syrah, Syrah, and a hint of Tempranillo. Wow, that's a lot going on in this glass, and it's so delicious. Comes from Paso Robles, which is halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles. So it's a nice little wine area that is known for some of its reds and some of its whites as well. So the best food pairings with this wine is several because it has a high acidity. It pairs very well with food. So in anything fuller, because it's a full-bodied wine, it has 14.9% alcohol. So you want a hearty entree like steaks or a Spanish food, Italian food like lasagna with a meat sauce would be really good with this. And then the fruitiness of this also pairs well with a ham. So you've got lots of choices. And I might add dark chocolate because I haven't found a red wine that doesn't pair well with chocolate, especially dark. So if you want to learn more about this wine and other wines, host a tasting. And if you do, Anton gives you a choice. We always have a thank you gift for hosting. But this time, Anton, our CEO, has given you a choice. So choice number one, it's going to be a hard choice too because they're both great, is a, oh, let's see if I can get this here. Can you see that? It's a Heart wine decanter with 2 wine glasses. This is the hardest part for me. But if you can't see that, I'll tell you, you really want it. I keep going in and out of this. Okay, one of these days I'll get it. There we go. Oh, just keep my mouth from breathing and you'll see that a little bit. Okay, the next one will be a little bit easier to show you. It is a Magnum. Magnum, have you ever seen such a big bottle? A Magnum of Prosecco. Who doesn't like an Italian sparkling Prosecco? There you go. Have you ever seen such a big bottle? So your choice. And then you get to choose the charity, and 9 to 12.5% will go to your charity of choice. Now, if you are a little bit uncomfortable because of COVID, a lot of my hosts are hosting outside, and this is a great time to do it because the weather is lovely. Or you can do one of our Sit, Sip, and Savor tastings, which is virtual through Zoom. And you can invite family and friends from out of state, provided we operate in that state, and we operate in 14 states. So anyways, the best way to get a hold of me is to message me on Facebook, call me or text me 248-231-0139, or email me vinodeponio@gmail.com. Thanks so much for sipping with me on Wine Down Wednesday, and I look forward to next time. Bye-bye.